Hey everybody, welcome back to another segment of the MCR Mac and Me. My name's TJ, coming back at you. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the military, how it's treated, how it's viewed, how is it respected or disrespected. And
Right.
what got me going on this was in the last 24 hours, I read an article, and I guess there's a a statue, a memorial type statue in Arlington Cemetery. And I didn't really know much about this statue until I saw the news article. But they're removing it. They're removing it because it's referenced in the aftermath of George Floyd's death and Black Lives Matter protests. Momentum was growing that the statue had to be removed, and it was dedicated back in 1914, and what I found out in reading about this statue was up until 2009 there was a history of the presidents putting like a memorial wreath at the base of the statue. It's in Arlington. It's kind of in respect to the veterans that are buried there, and and uh, Calvin Coolidge, uh, what what he wanted was it was the hope back then, because you got to remember this was still, the Civil War was still a pretty hard memory to people of that time. You had even though about 40 to 50 years had passed.
Well,
uh,
it's no different than Vietnam for
yeah,
us.
exactly. And the statue was intended to bring people together. Well, now this statue has to go bye bye. You
Well,
know,
Black Lives Matter isn't about bringing anybody together. It's about pushing their Marxist ideas. It's about black supremacy, and that is they are pushing black supremacy. Anyone who
and
I'd like to hear the arguments for anyone who says they aren't. Have you been to Arlington?
no, I've always wanted to, but
Okay.
keep proceed.
All right. So I have been several times. I love going there. It's a blatant reminder of the sacrifice that had been made for our freedom and for this country. And if there's a statue, let's say in the city of Detroit, and I don't want to see it, guess what? I don't go to it. And I bet I don't know how many people from Black Lives Matter have ever even been to Arlington or could give less than a damn about that sacrifice. So if you don't like the statue, don't go there.
Uh,
Why is it that if they don't like it, it needs to be banned?
yeah, there was a House vote involving the removal of this statue, and 41 Republicans sided with the Democrats in removing this statue. Sad to say, we had three from Michigan. I do have the list of the 41 here. Three of them from Michigan. Bill Huizenga, and I've seen his name pop up before
Right.
on goofy stuff. Uh, and then there was a Tim Wahlberg, and then looky here, lo and behold, my representative, John James, a guy that I,
A veteran who ran on being a veteran.
yeah, exactly. And I got to tell you, and I had to hold my nose as tight as possible when I voted for that guy. Anyways, as I proceed about this topic of the treatment of our military, it I kind of stumbled onto uh, the concern over the military not meeting their recruitment goals, and it sounds like the Marines are still, which I'm not necessarily surprised. In one way, I'm surprised, and in one way, I'm not. But uh, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army, they're not meeting their goals, and basically they say we're at the lowest level militarily, military strength. They compared it to right before World War II, at the time when our military was pretty weak,
Well,
and
people join the military, as you know, for various reasons,
uh-huh.
uh, and a lot of times it's got to do with love of country. Well, these universities and even K through 12 now are preaching hate of America. So this is a byproduct of that, I would tell you.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to circle back to the whole them removing that statue out of Arlington. That's how our current society views the military. You know,
Right.
um, but in regards to these recruitment issues, and I remember this being reported a couple weeks ago. Senator Dick Durbin, and I've heard some commentators call him Dick Turban, because I
Yeah.
guess he has sympathies for the bad guys in the Mideast, we'll
Terrorist.
say.
He's a terrorist sympathizer. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep. Uh, he got on the Senate floor and actually proposed illegal aliens. Why don't we allow them to serve in our military, and then if they meet the criteria and meet the goals of being in the military, why not us? Why can't we at that time give them citizenship?
I wouldn't be opposed to people, the military being a path for citizenship, but it has to be legal. If
Yeah.
legal immigrants want to come and they serve a couple of tours in the military, yeah, you served your country. I think you may have earned the right to be a citizen,
Well, when I heard Dick Durbin
but not
talking
illegal.
about when I heard him talking about that, there is a country that does that right now,
No.
kind of. France.
Oh, with the French Foreign
French
Legion?
Foreign Legion.
Yeah,
What
I
he
knew that. Yeah.
said, what he said is eerily similar to the way the French Foreign Legion operates. you know, and,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, does that mean we're going to have our own American Foreign Legion now? I mean,
Well,
I
actually, we did have a version of that in the Revolutionary War, where we had people who were loyal to the British Crown, and I believe they called them the American Legion.
but uh, I say that in kind of jest, but you know, it's just when you think of the when the Roman Empire was crumbling, they were doing something similar to that too, because they were having issues keeping the rank and file of their legions, and so they began to incorporate foreigners. Well, as you incorporate people of foreign citizenship, they're less loyal to the defense of the country, you know,
I believe they would be,
and
unlike people who would come here legally.
yeah, and it happened in Rome. I could see it happening to us, uh, and there's worries of you know uh, what do you call that when you got a spy who spies for the other person when you think they're spying for you, double agent or whatever they
Yeah,
call that.
right.
They're worried about those types making their way into the military.
Well,
You
while
know,
no one will probably say it, I think most of our military gives Muslim soldiers, rightly or wrongly, uh, the side eye for that reason. Who are you
uh huh,
really loyal to?
yeah, you know what for sure. But
Major Hassan.
you know, like I said, you got the way the Arlington Cemetery is being treated. The recruitment goals, Durbin wanting to bring uh, illegals into the military. I'm not optimistic right now in regards to all the more reason we need Trump for president, because
Absolutely.
this
That's where I was going
this
to go next, is
this
to
this
say
this
there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. All of this can be reversed.
yeah, and this needs to get fixed.
If they
These
take the statue and they melt it down, well, you know what? Make a new one.
you know
Whatever it takes.
and I don't know, that's all I got on this topic. If you have any other thoughts, Mac.
No, they're trying to degrade our military. You have people who, as I said earlier, hate this country. They don't want us to be a military power. They want us to be weak. They probably would like us to be invaded and taken over so that they can become their Marxist elite. And they have a lot of fools out there who ought to think about this. The useful idiot. What happens to the useful idiot when he is no longer useful?
Oh, he's dispensed.
They get dispatched because
Yeah.
nobody wants idiots around if they're not useful. So I'll let it go with that.
All right. Well, thanks everyone, and we'll catch you in the next segment. And that's a wrap. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.